BTS is officially back. After finishing their military service, they are finally resuming their group activities. Thank you for your service, guys, and 수고하셨습니다. But let's talk more about the album title because it is Arirang. I think this was a really great idea and also somehow really surprising as an album title and not so surprising at the same time. The title is Arirang. Arirang. For many international fans, it might be a new word or concept, but for Koreans, it's just impossible not to know this word. That's why the reaction in Korea is so explosive right now. There's already so much speculation about the logo as well, and by the end of this video, you will understand what Arirang is and why Koreans are so emotional about this title. So first, what is Arirang? It is the name of the most representative folk song in Korea. It is safe to say that every single Korean person from children to the elderly knows what this song is and knows the song by heart. You could also say that it's practically our unofficial national anthem. The structure of the song is really simple, usually repeating Arirang, Arirang, Arariyo in the chorus, which makes it very easy to sing along to. Because of this, it has been passed down for many generations and rearranged in so many ways, and it is said that there are over 3,000 variations of this song throughout various regions. And because it can be adapted so easily, you see it everywhere, from sports stadiums to modern pop remakes. In fact, BTS already performed an Arirang Medley back in 2016 at KCON France. So what does the name Arirang itself actually mean? In fact, it's hard to give one definition, and since it originated from common people a long time ago, there are lots of theories about the meaning. Some people say that it refers to your loved one, some say it's religious, some say it's related to a historic figure, and others also say it came from a foreign language. But no one can know for sure because it has been passed down as songs over such a long time. Nowadays, the word Arirang is mostly used and recognized as the most representative folk song of Korea. And Arirang carries more meaning than just being a famous folk song. It was sung by independence fighters during the Japanese occupation between 1910 and 1945. My late grandmother was born during that period. And it was sung by families separated during the Korean War, which happened between 1950 and 1953, which is when my father was born. And as a song for hope, for reunification. That's why we say Arirang contains the collective sorrow, the deep longing, and the resilience that Korean people have shared throughout our modern history. By naming the album Arirang, I think BTS might be trying to pack a much deeper meaning and message and emotion into this comeback than just promoting Korean tradition, even if they're not trying to include a deeper meaning. Just the fact that BTS is making the whole world study literally what it is, I think that just in itself is just phenomenal. So now you know what Arirang is and what it means to Korean people. How about we take a look at the actual lyrics? Arirang has many variations, so let's look at the most famous version, 경기 Arirang, and the four main lines that everybody knows by heart. The first line is Arirang, Arirang, Arariyo. As I mentioned earlier, this is a chorus. You can't really translate it. Arirang 고개로 넘어간다. We have the sound Arirang here, and 고개 is a hill or a mountain pass, and 로 shows a direction like towards, and 넘어가다 means to cross over. So whether you translate the part Arirang or not, 고개로 넘어간다 in the narrative form means that someone is going over a hill, and the hills symbolize trials and hardships of life. And the next line, 나를 버리고 가시는 님은, 나 means I, and 를 is the object marker. 버리다, 버리다 means to throw away, and 가다 means to go, or in this case, because it's a person, 버리고 가다 means to leave someone. And 님, when used on its own like that, is a respectful way to call a beloved person in a poetic way, or in more modern Korean, a very blunt way to address another person online in a cold manner. But in this case, it's definitely like my dear or my love. With that honorific she there, altogether, my love who leaves me and goes away. The fourth line, 심리도 못 가서 발병 난다. The first part is 심리. Ship is 10 and li is an old distance unit, which is around 400 meters or a quarter mile. So 심리 means 4 kilometers roughly or 2.5 miles. 도 here means even. 못 가다, can't go. 발병난다 in the narrative form is not a very common term these days, but 발 means foot and 병 means disease or illness and 나다 means to happen. So together it means you won't even go 4 kilometers before your feet start hurting. And as you can see, it's a desperate plea like saying, I hope you can't go far, so you will have to come back to me eventually. And we've just looked at 경기 아리랑, which is the most well-known version, but there are a few other variations that are quite famous too. The Arirang Medley that BTS performed at KCON in 2016 was made up of 4 different types. 진도 아리랑, 밀양 아리랑, 강원 아리랑, and 경기 아리랑, which we just studied together. So we've actually prepared a separate downloadable PDF for you containing a detailed breakdown of the other 3 variations of Arirang. If BTS incorporated any melodies or lyrics from Arirang, it is very, very likely that they were from one of these 4 versions. I think it'll be fun for you to check them out first. So please click on the link in the description to get the file. So why did BTS choose Arirang as their album title? In a recent Weverse Live, they said that they wanted to capture their identity and where they started.
그래서 진짜 저희다운 게 뭐냐, 저희가 어디서 출발했는지를 보여드리고 싶었던 것 같아요.
They've actually always emphasized their Korean identity and Korean roots. Think about the traditional clothes and idol and the instruments in 대치타. They also mentioned that they missed each other and missed ARMY, their fans, and they even released an audio message called 아미랑 or 아미랑 before the launch of the album. 랑 here means with, so 아미랑 means with ARMY, and it rhymes really well with 아리랑. Very smart. Speaking of the album, we need to look at the logo too. It looks like the Hangul consonants 이응, 리을, 리을, the initials taken from 아리랑, right? And some fans also noticed that it resembles the trigram elements from the Korean flag, and even the world tour stage layout seems to follow this pattern. I think it's very cleverly designed. The album drops on March 20th, and the next day on the 21st, they're performing at Gwanghwamun Square. Gwanghwamun is the main gate of Gyeongbokgung, the official palace of Joseon Dynasty. I think many of you might have already been there if you've traveled to Korea before, right? And Gwanghwamun is the heart of Seoul. It's our historic plaza. A concert of this scale there is almost unprecedented, and this concert will surely draw even more attention to the palace and Korea's history, which is amazing. And finally, here's a small theory that we had within the Talk to Me Korean team. You know, the title track is Swim, right? It's called Swim. And since BTS is linking various elements of Arirang and Korea to this album, is it possible that the shape of waves can also be a metaphor related to hills? You know, about overcoming the hardships and ups and downs of life. What do you think? Well, the last bit was just our fun guess, and I would love to know what you thought of this whole breakdown. Please don't forget to download our Arirang guide from the link below. Once the album is officially out, I'll be back with a full analysis of the lyrics and the music video, so make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications. And if you want to start learning Korean or speak better Korean so you can understand BTS even better, please visit us at talktomeinkorean.com, and as always, I will see you in the next video. But 여러분, 더 궁금한 게 있으면 댓글로 알려주세요. 감사합니다.